All right, so we officially have 20 seconds or so, but welcome as you're making your way in. Yes, if you would like to have some pillows or a bolster, I'll show you in just a moment once we officially start kind of the purpose of that. And then if you are staying for yin, pillows, bolsters, blankets work great for that as well. All right, well, I'm showing it is officially time. So welcome to beginner yoga, but we are going to incorporate using a chair tonight. So we're going to start just like we normally start at beginner yoga, taking a few minutes into a seated position. Now, where this bolster or pillows can come in handy, if you are a little bit shorter, sometimes it feels nice to rest your hands to our heart. On our inhale, bring those arms out to a side. On our exhale, we're going to bring our right arm over our left, bending at those elbows, maybe bringing the palms of the hands together or back of the hands can connect. Pull the elbows forward and up. As you pull those shoulder blades down, I'll turn sideways, coming into that eagle arm pose. Beautiful. So just the arms here. Nice. Take an inhale. On your exhale, release. And on our inhale, left arm comes on top, interlacing. Pull those elbows forward and up, shoulder blades down the back. Get a deep stretch right here. Later in class, we'll add the legs to this for our full eagle pose. Take an inhale. On your exhale, release, and on your inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, big forward fold down to the ground. Inhale, lift that chest halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rise those arms up overhead. As you exhale, step those legs out wide. So if you are just coming in, you do not have to have a chair, but we are incorporating that chair into our beginner yoga today. So feel free to grab one or do this seated. We're stepping out into that wide plie position, bringing hands onto the quads, hinge forward. Take an inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, bring that right shoulder in. Lengthen long through that chest. Look over the left shoulder. Nice spinal twist, opening through the inner thighs as well. Couple of breaths here. Taking another inhale. As you exhale, let yourself come center. Inhale, lengthen long. Exhale, drop that left shoulder in. Inhale, lengthen long again. And twist over the right shoulder. Nice. Take an inhale. As we exhale, let our body come center. Inhale, rise those arms up, stepping your feet in. Exhale, those hands to your heart. Inhale, arms rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. If you're seated in that chair, we're going to turn slightly to the right, coming into a lunge position. If you're standing, just step that left leg back behind you. Pressing back through that left heel, trying to press that heel to the ground, lengthening through this front hip flexor. And then maybe inhale, reach those arms up into the sky, pull that navel into the spine, pull the shoulder blades down the back, lunge pose. Take a couple of breaths. Nice, beautiful. Feel that strength. Take an inhale. On the exhale, this left arm is going to lead us open, coming into warrior two. Reaching those arms nice and long, gaze out over that front right hand. Pull the inner thighs towards each other, whether you're in the chair or not. So feel that engagement through the inner thighs, pressing the feet away. So feet are engaged into the ground, inner thighs are pulling in. Beautiful. Lift up through the pelvic floor muscles, navel to spine. On our inhale, hinge forward. Rotate that right palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Sliding that left hand down the back. Trying to keep those inner thighs engaged. Beautiful. Opening through that front right side of your chest. Gaze up at the base of your right hand. Couple of breaths. Take the inhale. On the exhale, this right hand finds its way onto that front right quad. Left arm reaches over, stretching through the left side, opening that chest to the front of the room. Gaze up towards the palm of your hand, extended side angle. Beautiful. If you're feeling great here, maybe you rotate that chest open a little bit more, and that gaze comes up a little bit more towards the ceiling. Check on those inner thighs. Are they pulling together? Feet pulling away. And then on our inhale, rising up to warrior two. On our exhale, that left hand comes down and around into our lunge. Take an inhale here. Exhale, shifting that body weight. Step the feet together. Hands at your heart. Beautiful. Big inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. So if you are standing and you want to take that full chaturanga through on the floor, through plank and down dog, you can. If you are seated, we'll continue here with our seated chaturanga. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands come to our heart, or meeting those of you in downward facing dog. So stepping that left leg forward, right leg back. Inhale, coming into that lunge on the other side. Engage the core, pull the shoulder blades down the back, pressing through that back right heel, squeezing that front hamstring, that back inner or quad towards each other. Feel that strength. Beautiful. Gorgeous, my friends. Take an inhale. As you exhale, this right arm leads us open, coming into our warrior two. Engaging those inner thighs. Feet are pressing apart, inner thighs are pulling together. Nice and strong. Gaze out over that front left hand. Beautiful, my friends. You look gorgeous, those of you in a chair, and you look perfect, those of you standing. Take a nice inhale and exhale. On our inhale, keeping that lower body engaged. Inhale, hinge forward. Rotate left palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Sliding that right hand down, gazing up at the palm of that left hand. Staying here, or maybe kind of opening your chest a little bit more if that feels good to you. And then on an exhale, this left hand finds that left knee. Reach that right hand forward, lengthening here. And then again, maybe opening that chest a little bit. Beautiful, my friends. And then on our inhale, we come up to that warrior two. And let that back hand swivel around. Lunge. Beautiful. Take an inhale. Exhale, those hands come to your heart as you step forward into mountain. Taking that chaturanga through. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands coming to your chest, or pausing there in downward facing dog. Once again, we're going to step out wide. So if you're in downward facing dog, stepping or hopping those feet forward on your mat into this wide open plie position. As you exhale, roll those shoulder blades down your back. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, bring those arms down into goddess pose, opening that chest. Beautiful, my friends. Think about those inner thighs slightly squeezing together. Those feet are connected into the ground. Take an inhale. On our exhale, let your hands come onto your hips, hinging forward, right, just to where you feel comfortable, and then maybe releasing those hands down to the ground. So once again, this is where some blocks or a bolster could come in handy. If that floor seems kind of far away, our hands could place on that block, those pillows, bolsters for that support here. Inhale, lift that chest halfway. We're going to leave the left hand down, and inhale, rotate the right arm up, coming into the spinal twist. Pull long from the crown of the head to the tailbone and try to open that chest to the right. Beautiful. Gorgeous, my friends. Feel that stretch. Take the inhale. And on the exhale, come center, readjust. Inhale, lifting that chest halfway. And then on the next inhale, rotating. Opening into that spinal twist. Beautiful job. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, maybe allow your head to fold forward all the way if you feel comfortable doing that. If not, keep that head lifted halfway. Just take a breath or two here. And then on our inhale, we'll lift halfway. Hold for that exhale. Inhale, try to bring those hands onto your hips. Rising up, stepping those feet in together. Beautiful. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, maybe taking a full chaturanga if you're standing, maybe just stepping back to downward facing dog. On our inhale, we rise all the way up. We're going back to that lunge position, so turning ourselves to the right or stepping right foot forward. Inhale, arms come up, lunge. Pull that navel into the spine, pull those shoulder blades down the back. Take an inhale. On your exhale, release those hands behind your back, opening your chest. Beautiful. Now, you have a couple of options here. It makes the biggest difference if you're standing. So with this back left heel lifted, my balance is a little bit shakier. Seated, we're okay, right? We have the chair helping us balance. But seated or standing, you have the option to keep this left heel lifted, or you can rotate that heel in, coming into warrior 2 feet, pressing all the way through that back left heel. Take one more inhale up, and as you exhale, coming into this humble warrior. So again, I can hinge just a little bit, perhaps, or if I feel comfortable, I can hinge that head, letting it hang, letting those arms raise up overhead. But I'm only coming as far as feels comfortable to me. Then on my inhale, I'll rise my way back up. Exhale, release the hands, and inhale, stepping both feet together. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to take that through the other side. So if you're standing, stepping that right leg back. If you're seated, rotating to the left. Find that lunge position first. Pull the navel in, the shoulder blades down the back. That left heel either stays lifted or rotated in, finding that warrior 2 as we interlace the hands behind our back, opening our chest. Beautiful. Lifting that heart, chest opener. Take the inhale, exhale, hinging forward only as far as you feel comfortable. So it may be right here, right? Or it's here. Or I come all the way down, only to where I feel comfortable. And then on our inhale, we'll use that strength rise all the way up. Exhale, release the hands. Inhale, arms come up. And exhale, stepping back into that mountain position. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. So maybe you're doing just as much as we are. Maybe you're taking your full chaturanga. Maybe you're stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, we slowly rise all the way up. And exhale, those hands to our heart. All right, so here comes that full eagle position, but we have our chair here to help us. We're going to inhale the arms up. And then as we exhale, that right arm's going to come over the left. We've been here. If you are standing, you are going to sink into that imaginary chair. The rest of us, we have our chair here for us. We've got our right arm on top, so we're going to step our left leg on top. I can stay right here, pulling the shoulder blades down, lifting the elbows up, or I try to take this left foot and wrap it behind. Right? So eagle can be quite a challenging pose, but using the chair, makes it, you know, for everybody. Right? Couple of breaths right here in eagle. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, gently trying to step out of it. Inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, the left arm comes on top. Finding eagle arms. Crossing right leg over, right here, or maybe tucking it behind, right? If it doesn't want to tuck, it doesn't tuck. Pull the shoulder blades down, lift up through the elbows. This is a nice opener through that upper back. Taking a couple of breaths here in your eagle. Beautiful. Take that inhale. On our exhale, gently trying to step out of it. Inhale, arms rise up. And exhale, hands come to our heart. Beautiful. So if you are standing and not using a chair, I invite you to make your way down through the ground. You can take a vinyasa to get your way down there. Those of you seated, if you want to take one more of our seated vinyasas. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold. And inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands to our heart. We are going to come into our 4 stretch. So if you're on that floor, you can do it seated. You could do it reclining as well. Taking that right leg, bringing that right ankle onto that left knee. Maybe holding on to that bottom right foot. Taking your right hand and gently pressing away on that right inner thigh. Pulling nice and tall, just coming into a few seated postures here. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. And then if you are seated, great, we can lean forward. If you are seated on the floor, you'll try to scoot your glutes to your heel, opening the chest, or if you're on the floor, maybe pulling in a little bit more on that hamstring. And just enjoy the seated stretch here for a bit. So a little bit longer, hold. I love this stretch right here, 4 stretch in a chair. It's like my favorite way to do this stretch because I feel like I have more control and manageability. Therefore, I can take the pose a little bit deeper. Nice. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then on our inhale, gently making your way out. Feel free to shake your legs out a little bit as needed. And we'll take that on the other side, whether you're seated on the floor, on your back, or in this chair. I like to place my hand on that foot when I'm seated because it just kind of helps me flex that foot, activates through the leg a little bit more. And then gently pressing away on that left inner thigh, pull my shoulder blades down my back, stay right here, or hinging. Right? If I'm leaning forward, it's that hinge. I could also use my forearm versus my hand, if that feels better to me. Try to lengthen the crown of the head forward if you're hinging, pulling the shoulder blades down the back. Nice, so we still stay active through our core. Yeah, more breaths here, really enjoying this pose. On our inhale, rising up. Placing both feet on the ground. If you are seated, you can come into a Sukhasana. If you're down on that floor, so just that easy seated pose. Inhale, the arms come up. On our exhale, reach the arms over to the right. The right hand can come down to brace onto that chair for support, so you can take the stretch a little bit deeper if you like. Stretching through the rib cage. Two more breaths here. Feel that nice stretch. And then on our inhale, coming up. Exhaling that over to the left. The hands can stay out or it can brace down. Reaching through. Welcome if you are starting to make your way in for yin. Feel free to join us. We are finishing up our beginner yoga using a chair today. And then on our inhale, make our way up. And exhale, bring those hands down behind your back. So if you have part of your chair to hold onto, you can. I'm going to turn mine sideways just so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to hold onto my chair. We're going to take that camel position. If you're on the floor, right, you can be in that kneeling position. We're going to open our chest. I like to sit here on the edge of my chair, pulling those elbows back behind me, opening through the whole front of my chest. If you like, you could interlace your hands here. You could do it in that full camel. So if anybody's down in camel, right, you're right here. So that would be that camel down on the ground. Opening that chest. Beautiful, releasing. And then if you are down on the floor, you're going to come down and roll onto one side. If you're in the seated position, we're going to rotate our body over to the left. You can hold on to that chair or over to the right, sorry. Hold onto the chair with the right hand. Reach for that left heel, coming into that quad opener. So you can do a sideline quad opener. So you could be laying on your side, right? And taking your quad opener here. Nice. Just going to adjust my yoga mat there. Now, if pulling that heel all the way up to your glute does not feel good to you, what you do is you just, if you're seated in the chair, you just take that leg back behind you, pressing your hip forward a bit. Nice. So that's another way to get that quad opener. The more you would like to open your chest, taking that stretch all the way up through the chest. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release, rotating over to the other side or rolling onto your other side, reaching down for that right leg, opening the chest or placing that foot back behind you. Either one. Taking a few breaths here. Releasing, making your way back center. So as we come to our end of our time together, if you are not sticking around for yin, I invite you to take this time here. You can, anybody get down and lay on the floor, even if you've been seated in your chair. If you would like to stay in your chair, right, you could come back to that place where we started. Maybe leaning into the back of your chair a little bit, seated. If you're like me, I love forward folds. They feel great on my back. So you could choose to go back into that hug of your knees and let your head come down here. So any of those positions that feel good to you. If you are sticking around for yin, you may want to use these next like 60 seconds here to just get some water. Maybe move your chair out of the way so you have that option to come down onto the floor for yin. So this is your 60 seconds right here to take care of your needs. Maybe run to a restroom, right? That happens sometimes. And then if you are making your way in for yin, welcome. We are just transitioning from one of these classes into the next. Thank you all so much, those of you that will be logging out. And I hope to see you all again soon. And welcome to everyone making their way in. Now, you may still want to keep bolsters, pillows, blocks nearby for yin, blankets. Welcome. I'm going to take a drink. We have about 15 seconds here officially. We had some team confidence in the house, getting a little shout out from Lindsay. Awesome job, those of you participating in that 6-month strong challenge that we have going on. We are ending our 2nd month, headed into that 3rd month. Welcome. It's yin time, right? Yin and unwind, restorative, if that's how you would like to think about it, right? It is about ease. Take a moment. Feel free to sit on some pillows. Feel free to sit in a position other than this. Those of you that just did beginning yoga, right, we incorporated a chair into it tonight. So if you've got that chair nearby and you want to start in your chair, That is also perfect. But take a moment. Just breathe. Enjoy the thing that all we have to do is breathe, right? So I know we're used to going fast. We're used to rushing for many of you. School is starting back for your little ones, right? And it's very different. Maybe this year you're trying to manage them while working at home, and there's always so much going on. Allow yourself to just enjoy only having one thing to do right here. Breathe. And the breath itself is automatic, right? We're simply noticing it. Allowing ourselves to come into this time and space. And I have a short reading for you tonight. I find these from time to time. I follow the Daily Om, and these messages always speak to me, but sometimes I just really want to share them. So I'm not going to read the entire thing. I'll read a piece of it, and then I can post it in our Facebook group. But it is about being fully present. And that's what we talk about here all the time. When we are fully present, we offer our whole selves to whatever it is that we're doing. Our attention, our integrity, and our energy are all focused in the moment and on the task at hand. This is a powerful experience. And when we are in this state, or when we are in this state, we feel completely alive and invigorated. The kind of aliveness comes easily when we are absorbed in work or play that we love, but it is available to us in every moment, and we can learn to summon it regardless of what we're doing. Even tasks or jobs we don't enjoy can become infused with the light of being present. The more present we are, the more meaningful our entire lives become. The more we draw ourselves into the present moment, the more we honor the gift of our lives, and the more we honor the people around us. When we are fully present, we give and receive aliveness in equal measure. So I invite you now and throughout this class to give yourself permission to be fully present. We're all in our homes, and I am blessed that I'm out in this little space and there isn't anyone around me. And you may have that same situation, but you might have some family in and around in other rooms. But I invite you to give yourself permission and just allow whatever's happening around you to happen, but let yourself be present right here, right now. And if you do get pulled away, mentally, physically, there's no judgment. Just bring yourself back. Just come back when you notice that you've moved away. Take a few breaths here. Enjoy. Allow your awareness to come down into your hands. Feel your hands where they are, right? It doesn't matter what position they're in. Notice them. Allow your hands to capture your attention, being fully aware of your hands at this moment. And then bringing the palms of those hands together, lifting the thumbs to your heart, allowing your full awareness to come into the connection of your thumbs resting on your chest, near your heart. And take a moment in self-love. Loving yourself does not take away from you being able to love others. It makes it more easy to love others when we take time to love ourselves. We can't truly love other people until we love ourselves first. So give yourself that big internal hug rather. When you're ready, let your chin tuck towards your chest, your head bow, allow your eyes to flutter open with the gaze down. And then whenever you feel ready, you can release your hands and allow your eyes to open. Welcome everybody that is joining us. We're going to start in that bound angle pose tonight. So bringing the bottoms of the feet together. So a little bit different than butterfly. We're trying to let our heels be away from us. And then feel free to kind of rock around a little bit. Find that nice comfy seated position. Allow your hands to rest somewhere along your shins. Pull your shoulder blades down your back. And we're going to start with the chest leading, hinging forward. So as we first start to make our way into this pose, it is a little more active. And you will probably start to feel something along your outer leg, right? But each and every one of those is different. So just notice where you feel what you feel. Pausing and taking it in. If you feel that you want your chest to guide you a little more forward, feel free. And pausing, maybe your hands start to make their way down towards your ankles or even towards your feet. And once you feel that you've reached your happy place in the lengthening, let the chin tuck, let the forehead start to bow in the background. Now you can always have multiple pillows or a yoga bolster or multiple bolsters in your lap. It might even allow you to let your forehead come all the way down onto it. But again, whatever feels best to you. Forward folds calm the body. So if you are in a position and it is too intense, let yourself make some adjustments so that you find a little rest, a little restorativeness in this forward fold, even though you might be feeling some stretching sensations through parts of the body. Your eyes may be open, they may be closed, but try to let them be relaxed. Releasing the jaw, letting the lips, the teeth part. Feel that opening through your back as you're inhaling, really pulling that prana, that chi into your lungs, feeling the lungs expand through the back of your body. Exhaling, allowing yourself to sink into the posture. You may find it a bit challenging to be still. If you need to move, move a little bit. And then allow yourself to find stillness once more. And on our inhale, using your hands, pressing into the earth to gently make your way up. We'll bring those legs out long. Feel free to lean back a little bit and just shake out the legs or rainbow them side to side. Nice. Maybe even planting the feet onto the ground, letting those legs really fall side to side. So some movement through the hips. And then letting those knees fall to the left, just pausing there. You can be leaning back onto your hands if that's uncomfortable. You can always lean back onto your elbows if you like, just in kind of this half-seated spinal twist, right? We're just kind of releasing. You might feel some releasing coming through that right quad area. Letting the body soften. And then inhaling the legs up and over the other way. So a little bit shorter holds here. Just releasing. A couple of more breaths. And then slowly making the way up. Take those legs out into a straddle. Feel free to set up on a couple of pillows or a blanket. Rises the tailbone up a little bit, taking some of the pressure out of the low back. And then maybe you would even like, if you've got a wall nearby, it can be a very nice position to just allow the wall to support you, right? Legs lengthened out. Or, of course, we have that option, as always, to start to hinge forward. Pillows, bolsters, maybe bring that floor up to us so that we can just rest our forearms on it, or maybe you might be able to rest the entire torso, either on your forehead, or resting on one side of your temple. So just finding that place that feels good to you. Lengthening through the legs, through the inner thighs. You could roll your neck around, yes or no, if it feels good. You can take a little swaying through your upper body. It's kind of like I'm trying to lengthen my right side and lengthen my left side. Just experiment. What feels restful to you? Relaxing. And then maybe finding some stillness. It can be a nice pose to do near a chair also, right? So if you came up near a chair and you're in the straddle, your forehead may come right near the seat of the chair or the couch. You could give a little more rest A little more release to this posture. And then inhale, maybe bringing your weight up. We're going to take a little rotation through our hips. So think about rotating at the navel over to that right side. Placing one hand on either side of that right leg and gently walking the hands forward. And we're getting a little twisting through our low back. Listen to your body. If this does not feel good to you to get the twisting, we can take this back left leg, this extra leg, we can pull it into kind of seated tree, and that lessens up that twist. So that is an option if this feels more than you want to be feeling in the straddle pose. Think about lengthening the spine here. So we added that twist, so we don't want to, crunch back, lengthen long. The more you flex that right foot, the deeper you'll get a stretch through that calf, that hamstring. If you wanted to take one of your hands and gently pull on your ball of the foot, if reaching it works for you, and deepen that stretch, but only to the point that it feels good. We don't have to go as far as we can go. In fact, I encourage you not to go as far as you can. And then we'll slowly walk our way up. Maybe take a little light side to side. And then from the belly twisting towards the left, walking the hands out. And you have the same option here. If this does not feel good to be in the straddle, take this right leg, bring it in into seated tree, stretching out over. You're still going to get a little twisting through your back. You're still going to get that hamstring, that calf, but it brings a little more ease to it. Lengthening, and that option to flex that left foot a little more, maybe even holding it with either hand. Lengthening the spine, but softening the shoulders. Allow the gaze to be down, the neck to be neutral. To be very easy to just nod and shake your head. If you were here yesterday, we did focus quite a bit on the upper body, the chest, the back, upper back. So we're just getting a little more of the lower body today. We will get a little upper body in a moment. Really spending some time opening through our hips this evening. So our hips are kind of, I like to compare them to, say, a garage or a trunk, right? We hold a lot of our stuff in our hips. So emotional pain, any type of past trauma, right? If we don't work with it and release it, our body does something with it. Oftentimes it manifests itself in physical pain or tightness. And a lot of times it finds its way into our hip region. Oftentimes when we're working and stretching around our inner thigh, our outer thigh, our hip area, stuff may come up. Acknowledge it and ask yourself if you can release it and let it go. walking our way up here, take your time bringing those legs in together. Again, you can just kind of rock them side to side or shake them out. And we're going to come over into a child's pose or a puppy. So if you want a little bit deeper opening through your chest, you can choose puppy. Your choice. So knees apart, knees together. If you choose child's pose, right? The glutes come down onto the heels. I could recline over some pillows, making this more restful. I can also choose to take more of a puppy position. Bottom stays up. Hands slide forward. Right, as I bring the chest down to the ground, I get a deeper opening in the chest and around the shoulders. And you are allowed to change positions once you come into one of them. So if you come into a pose and you decide, ooh, I think I would rather go into the other place. Here's another way to use a pillow or block in puppy. I bring that underneath my chest. So if I maybe don't have that flexibility to bring my chest all the way to the ground, it can be supported by pillows or a block. And then let yourself find just that right place here. Again, we don't have to go as far as we can. We push ourselves all day long. Let this be the time that you don't give your all. Let yourself rest. Feel a little bit of softening in the pose that you've chosen. Maybe take an exhale through the mouth. Feel that release. Let that happen. Take a few more breaths. And then take your time. Maybe pull your hands back under your chest. Slowly make your way up. We'll come down onto our back. Any reason that lying on your back does not feel good to you, you can stay in child's pose. You can come onto your side. You could take a seated butterfly. If it feels good to come to your back, start with just a little hug of the knees. We're going to make our way into happy baby just a bit before we find that shavasana. A little more hip opening. Maybe start just by hugging the knees and then starting to pull the knees towards the armpits for a little deeper stretch. This may be as far as you want to go here. I've been working with my 14-year-old son, stretching him. And this pose right here is a deep stretch for him. So what may feel easy to someone may be just right for you. We are all different, and that is okay. But if you want more, a little deeper here, you can reach for the bottoms of your feet, lifting the flat feet a little bit towards the sky, pulling those knees down towards the armpits, and into happy baby. Maybe you prefer to just take your arms and wrap them behind your hamstrings here. So you don't have to hold on to the bottoms of the feet. Reclining butterfly, so bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side, can be a great optional pose. Both of them are opening through the hips. So I'll show you that, right? You could bring bottoms of the feet together, knees apart, and this was if you stayed seated. Butterfly works. Feels good to rock. Do so if it feels good to be very still, and do that. The pose becomes more than you want, you can simply hug those knees back in together, or you can make your way towards Shavasana, because that's where we'll all go momentarily. And if opening your hips is like opening those garage doors, the closet, the trunk, and things began to fall out on us, take a minute, acknowledge it, and ask yourself if you can let it go. Can you release it? You don't have to hold on to baggage. Yoga can be a great place to start that release if you find that you need to work a little bit deeper. You can go deeper with yoga or with counseling, right? But give yourself permission to start to release whatever that you may need that doesn't serve you. And then gently bring those knees in towards each other, lengthening those legs out long. Take your time. You might feel a little bit of, sensation there around the hip flexors as we change position. Let your legs fall wherever they fall. Your arms come to the side. Feel free to bring pillows under your knees or a blanket over you. Let yourself rest in an even more neutral position for a few more minutes. A minute or so here together. I invite you, give yourself 3 to 5 minutes. Lie here in Shavasana. Allow yourself to be fully present. Right here, right now. There may be stuff going on around you, right? Notice it. Let yourself rest. Fill your cup. Let your body heal. I'll walk us out. You can stay here as long as you want. I do ask, as always, give yourself a little bit of time when you are ready to move. Don't rush. Take some time. May you have a beautiful rest of your evening. Namaste.